Grand rising, everyone. It is your shaman, your sister in spirit, and your friend, Alesha Dunlevy here. And today we are going to be continuing the topic of grounding, of the root chakra. Now, I know on Monday that live video got cut off, which everything is as it is, and that's okay. So we're just going to allow today to be a continuation of really connecting with the root. So as people are logging on, feel free to drop a comment in and say hi. It's always good to see everyone. But as people are logging on, of course, there are a few announcements. So the Welcome Community event out at Smithfield is this weekend. I'm really excited. The information dropped about all of the speakers, all of the schedule. So check out that link that I have put below to get more information. It is a free event. I'm really excited about the full moon and equinox ceremony that we're going to be doing, that I'm going to be facilitating. So come check it out if you can. I think it's going to be a really beautiful and touching moment. We have a Shamanic Sound Journey with Anthony from GeneOhm at metaStone. The date is below, and the link to that event is also there. So if you're interested in checking out metaStone, which is a new healing facility out in Wellsburg, check them out. Let's see. We have a Shamanic Sound journeying out at Empowered Yoga. So check the dates for that. Check out their website. Come join us. I'm going to be teaching some yoga classes out at Empowered. And of course, through the Aspirant agency, we go on ClubHouse Fridays at 1 o'clock. All that information is below. Check it out. So here we are on this beautiful Wednesday morning, and we are continuing the concepts of the root chakra. So what we talked about on Monday, if you weren't there, I'll go over it briefly, is the root chakra is located at the base of the spine. It is associated with the color red, and it is associated with core belief systems, the central nervous system, immunity, basic needs. It is associated with dogma and lots of other things that you will find in my chakra program. If you're interested in learning like in depth about the chakras, I do have a hybrid group program with the chakras. It's really fun and awesome, and it is extremely in depth. But what we talked about on Monday was basically getting some tools on how do we ground, like how do we connect more deeply with the root chakra, and how can we begin healing it on our own without maybe going to a chakra balancer, a shaman, a Reiki master, or some sort of facilitator. So today, what we're going to really get into is that the root chakra is a lot about the mind-body connection. Okay, the root chakra is associated with the body specifically. And so when we dive into, what does this mean? Like, how can I connect further with my body? We can understand that when we are not grounded, right, there's probably an imbalance going on in the root chakra itself. And since the root chakra is about the body, to me, that is going to be giving some information, not just about potential mindsets, not just about potential core belief systems that you might be really struggling with, but it's going to tell me that you might not really be in your body right now, that you might be having a lot of thoughts, a lot of things going on in the head. And that's why all of your energy is starting to pull up towards the upper part of your body, and thus kind of causing this, like, I don't feel grounded. I kind of feel all over the place. There's too much energy going on up here. So when we think about the body, how can we get into it? I have this thing listed below, mind-body connection. What does that mean? There are a lot of different tools that can be used for mind-body connection. We're talking about stretching. We're talking about simply going for a walk. We're talking about tapping. Some of the very first things that I do for my yoga practice to really anchor down in my body is some nice tapping here. It says, hi, I'm here with you. I'm with you. Here I am, the body, because the root chakra is associated with the phrase, I am. I'm here on earth in this body. So there are certain techniques that you can learn. I know that EFT is a tapping modality where you tap on very specific spots. This is not a technique that I have learned, so it's not something that I'm going to be giving to you today, but I do know that in my own experience, and my way is not the only way, but I'm just sharing this opportunity to know that sometimes even tapping the body and saying, I'm here, is going to help come back into the present moment and get out of the mind, because the mind usually loves to spend a lot of time thinking about the past or worrying about the future. Okay, so saying, come back here, I'm here, is going to bring us back into the present moment, which is going to catalyze some grounding. Now, we can also get back into the body by exercising, by doing yoga, right? By stretching, by dancing. Like, dancing is a beautiful modality for kind of getting grounded again. And not only is dancing great for the root chakra, but it's also great for the sacral chakra as well. And they are very close to each other. So that's really going to pull a lot of energy down towards these two lower chakras. Going for a walk. This one for me is the most beneficial. Let me rephrase it. This one for me is super helpful, especially if I'm walking outside, because there's something about allowing my body, the organism that I reside in, to also be a part of all of the other living organisms that are around me. We're talking about birds. We're talking about all of the insects that are around. We're talking about really connecting with Mother Earth, Pachamama, and all of its energy that it uses for growing, for healing, for creating. And so when I go for a walk, I'm breathing in the fresh air. I am moving my body. I always find that this is a very useful, effective tool, even if I just walk around my house in my yard. Okay. So do not doubt the power of just simply taking a step outside your house, your apartment building, wherever you reside, and just walking out and walking back in. And then, of course, we went over the tapping, which is down here. Now, the other thing that I really want to invite is this practice that we're going to do. So we're actually going to be doing a practice today, okay? And it's going to involve this concept of visualization. And with visualization, the one thing that we have the opportunity to understand is that the key to visualization is focusing the mind, which can be very difficult to do if we are ungrounded, because that shows us that our energy is pulling up towards our head, and we might have a lot of blah, 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 a lot of mind chatter, a lot of energy, a lot of thoughts, a lot of, sometimes so much thought that we don't even know what we're thinking. How many of you guys have experienced that before? Drop a comment if you have ever been in the place where you're like, I'm thinking so much. I don't even know what I'm thinking. So much energy up here that the brain can't even begin to compute. Can't even calculate what's going on anymore. So when we use visualization, we are allowing ourselves, this is me, I feel you, this is even me, okay? Like, even though I've been practicing meditation for about 7 years now and really growing in my work, I still have bad days. I still have chaotic thoughts or distracted thoughts, especially when I'm not doing the things that I need to do to get into my body. And these little practices, these little rituals are really going to invite some balance, some harmony inside of our existence here. So, visualization. We can do this in the shower, where we are visualizing washing ourselves clean of these things. The other thing is that I notice a lot of people love to get into the bath or the shower to kind of reground, not just with visualization as a form to really wash away the day, but understanding as that water hits our body and it heats us up, or if we're those that like to take those cold showers, it's going to get us back into our body. Right? Because we're feeling that water, we're feeling the temperature change. It gets us into feeling rather than thinking. But the visualization that we're going to do today is one that I have been using for many for many years, inside of my yoga classes, inside of the shamanic journeying. So let's dive into what this visualization looks like. Nothing better than a Reiki shower. Yeah. I love inviting energy work into my everything, like even my meditations. When I'm going to sleep at night, I love to give myself some Reiki. I always feel that it brings a lot of balance back into my space too. Thank you for that comment. So for those of you that practice Reiki, like maybe try that out and let us know what you think. So we're going to go through a grounding technique here, okay? And if you cannot do this right now and you want to come back to this video later, it starts at about 10 minutes and 50 seconds, okay? So the first thing that we want to do whenever we are in the process of grounding is we really want to start connecting with the breath. Okay. So we're going to notice how the breath actually can come into different spaces of the body. We have clavicular breathing, which is going to be breath that only comes up to about here, down to about here. Okay. Then we can go down into the chest, which is thoracic breath. And it's just going to allow the chest to puff up and down when we breathe. So go ahead and play with that for a second. We have clavicular, play with clavicular, only allowing the breath to go right about here. Feel how shallow that is. But it is a breath that can be utilized, okay? Now think about getting it right into the chest, not below, just using thoracic breath here. You might feel how when you use thoracic breath, you might want to breathe a little bit deeper. And so your body might start breathing through the sides, the ribs now, because it's like, I want to breathe. I want some more air. So notice how it's going to, or you can invite the opportunity to start breathing through the sides of the ribs, maybe even into the back, not moving the belly. And then sending that breath deeper into diaphragmatic breath, which is where the diaphragm is going to start pushing down and it's going to inflate the belly like a balloon. And then combine all three here. So we're going to be breathing down into the belly, into the thoracic, stretching out through those ribs, breathing up into the clavicles, and then exhaling fully. The one thing that we want to understand is that as we are playing with this mind-body connection, breath is a mind-body connection, especially whenever we are paying attention to where the breath is going into the body. So I really want to invite not trying to breathe to where it's uncomfortable. We don't want discomfort, but you might notice like, ooh, I might not have been breathing here. Like this feels different to my body. If something feels different and you want to explore it playfully, totally awesome. That's the mindset we want to keep. Lighthearted. If we're trying to breathe and suck in so much air that it's uncomfortable, I don't suggest that. Okay. It's overfilling. It's like whenever we are doing yoga, or doing any kind of stretch and we overstretch and we activate some muscles and we miss some smaller, more intricate muscles. Okay. So really being present with your breath here as it fills this entire space. So now that we've connected with the breath, let's go ahead and go into this visualization, which is to support you in your grounding. Okay. So we're going to allow the breath to flow in and out like waves on an ocean. Just floating in and out of the shore in one continuous motion without any pause, without any breaks, and within your own comfort in this moment. Maybe you are thinking you were able to breathe more yesterday. Maybe you're getting excited because this is the most deep that you have ever breathed. And we just let those thoughts go. And we just come back into the breath. We're going to pull all of our focus now to the top of the head. Relaxing the top of the head. We're going to focus now on the forehead and relaxing the forehead as we continue to breathe. Unclenching the jaw and releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Relaxing the eyebrows and the space in between the eyebrows. Relaxing the eyelids and the small muscles of the eye socket. Releasing the head from the back of the neck. And continuing to breathe as we relax the shoulders down. Relaxing the chest, the upper back, the shoulders, and the shoulder socket. Relaxing the upper arms, the inner elbows and the elbows. And relaxing the lower arm. Releasing the wrists. Relaxing the palms of the hands and the backs of the hands. The fingertips and the fingers. And if you can imagine breathing from the fingertips into the chest, up through the arms, in through the chest, into all of the spaces that you have created more space. And just allowing the breath to flow in and out. We're going to relax the belly, the lower back, the pelvis, and all of the space in between. Allowing that breath to go deeper, filling and feeling. Letting go here, relaxing the glutes and the hips. Relaxing the fronts of the thigh and the backs of the thigh, the inner and outer, and all of the space in between. Relaxing the knees, the backs of the knees, and the lower leg. Relaxing the backs of the lower leg, the sides, and releasing the ankles. Relaxing the heels, the bottoms of the feet, and the tops of the feet. The toes and the tips of the toes. And here, allowing the breath to continue to flow in and out within our own comfort. And visualizing, breathing from the toes up through the legs, the lower legs, the knees, the thighs, the glutes, the hips, the pelvis, the belly, the lower back. Breathing up into the chest, breathing in through the fingertips, the wrists, the arms, the elbows, the upper arms and the shoulders, through the top of the head. And just allowing that to flow in and out. filling and feeling all of the space in between the front of you, the back of you, and the sides of you. Remembering to release the tongue from the roof of the mouth and unclenching the jaw. And just being here for a moment. So from here, we're going to bring some gentle movement into the body. I really want to invite the concept of micro movements. Micro, super small, basically invisible movements, okay? So like when I'm moving my wrist, not doing one of these, not full range motion, gently connecting. All of the fascia, all of the muscles in the body, they don't require much force to achieve movement, just like we don't require so much force to grow, to move forward. Okay, we can invite these concepts of just little movements here, maybe through the neck, little circles. When we dive into that, now we are deepening the mind-body connection as well, because we're allowing our breath and our feeling of the body to not need large movements to connect to it, but to really invite those gentle movements. You might be feeling some stress, some tension in the muscle tissue that you didn't feel before because you're taking this more gentle approach. So inviting these little micro movements in. And if the body asks, learning to listen to the body. If the body says, no, I really need to stretch here, I'm starting to feel this, do it. The whole intention of grounding is to get back into the body. That is one technique for grounding. And so by using the breath like we did, and by going through different parts of the body, this is a way of grounding. It's very effective. And as you practice this grounding technique, you're going to notice that you can do it a lot faster as time progresses, but also being mindful of the fact that it might depend on the day. Maybe if you aren't as grounded as the day before, you might need to take a little bit more time. Your body might want that. It might enjoy that. It might bring some harmony and balance back into your subtle body and your physical body and your mental body and possibly your emotional body, because they are all separate, but we're all one. Yeah. We all work together. All of these facets of ourselves, they work together to create one whole being. So for those of you that did not get to see this, at about 10 minutes and 50 seconds, there is a grounding technique that is shared here. It's one of my favorite techniques that I use with my clients in classes, in yoga. And it's a relaxation technique that invites visualization and relaxation into the body. And this is one of the ways that we deepen the mind-body connection and that we invite grounding into our space. Since the root chakra, which this conversation is a continuation from the live video on Monday, is about being connected to being human, we can also stretch our body, work out, tap into nutrition and health, right? Tap into walking, tap into tapping. Thinking about our core belief systems, really checking in with our nervous system. Are we in a stress state or are we in a relaxed state? The thing that I love about the chakras is that it's not just a one and done thing. It's not just, oh, root, ground. There's so many things to look at here. family, immunity, foundation, bones, nerves, thoughts, subconscious thoughts. Like, it's a super powerful, almost like philosophy for me to use when working with people. And for those of you that might be interested in that, whether you are a practitioner who's looking to expand and deepen their understanding of the chakras, or whether you're somebody that's new that's just interested in learning about it, check out my group hybrid program, or reach out to me about more information. It is a class where we go through the chakras, and then we meet up once a week to talk about, just to gather, to do techniques like this, or to talk about ways to expand on our knowledge and maybe something that you didn't understand. So, as you can see scrolling down below, these are some of the services, the one-on-one services that I provide. If you're interested in that, hop onto my Calendly link to schedule with me. It is calendly.com/Alesha Dunlevy. We can schedule a consultation, or you're welcome to just schedule whatever service that you think that you are in need of. But I hope that this brought some grounding to you today. I hope that you feel present with yourself. Even guiding you through that, I definitely feel just more like... So I'm loving you all so much. I cannot wait to see some of you in my yoga classes, in the events that are going to be hosted down in Smithfield, over in Empowered, and down in Wellsburg. I'd love to see you guys there. I'd love to facilitate some fun, deep connection for you. So peace and love. And comment on this video, like and subscribe, and maybe send it to somebody that you think might need it. It's always nice. What a way to show love, yeah? To give people the techniques to invite health and wellness and balance back into their space. Loving you all. Bye.